Reaper's Underground. We hope you survive.
That is right, my demons. Just when you thought that Facebook was going to cancel me, oh, I got something for y'all's asses. You can't get rid of this devil. That's right. We are back Friday night, and finally we have captured the elusive horror show Jack.
The elusive.
We finally got him in the wild. That's right. We finally got him here, and I am so fucking excited because we're going to be talking about special effects. We're going to be talking about him as a Fangsmith and all of the amazeballs shit that he creates. So tune in right now. You're going to want to make sure that you share this out. Anywhere and everywhere there is a horror lover, because Horror Show Jack does it all. He does everything. It's amazeballs, and we're going to be taking a very, very close look at some of his creations tonight. But before we get into all this madness, we're going to take a quick commercial break to our brother over at Horror Struck Hot Sauce. Hotter than hell. Check it out. That's right. It is barbecue season time. And you don't necessarily have to put barbecue sauce on your meat. But damn it, if you are a fan of hot sauce and you love horror at the same time, get y'all's asses over to horrorstruckhotsauce.com. See what new flavors he's got. And I guarantee your dead barbecue creations will come to life. So check that shit out. Super tasty. And again, thank you, Rebecca and Cody, for joining on tonight. I appreciate y'all. And share this shit out. God damn it. You know what time it is. It's Reaper's Underground. The best in horror underground entertainment. And everyone's like, oh, Reaper, what's going on with your makeup, man? What are you doing right now? Did you know that it was Vincent Price's fucking birthday this past week? Yes, legendary Vincent Price. So I said, you know what, Reaper, we're going to go ahead and we're going to recreate the paint job that was on the legendary Vincent Price in the film Madhouse. But more importantly, we have Horror Show Jack with us right now. This man is probably responsible for the entire vampiric community as a whole.
Yeah, no, don't say that. Because then the community's, he's like, oh, this guy thinks he's full of light. I am not responsible for the community. I just add to it. But I also don't think I am more important than Vincent Price's birthday. However, I did get to make fangs for his daughter.
Unholy shit. I did not know that.
Yep, at Monster Mania 2013. Wow. And she is such a beautiful woman. She is so nice, so sweet, and so cultured. She came to the booth, took pictures with all of us. We got a group photo with her, and so another vendor had given her a medallion that had a picture of Vincent Price in it, and when they took the picture, the flash reflected off that. So when people look at that picture, I saw like, you see that little white light flash reflecting off that. I'm like, Vincent Price was in my booth.
That's insanity to think, to know that you created fangs for his daughter. As a matter of fact, I remember she was at a couple of other cons too.
Oh yeah,
as like a legacy.
Yeah, she was at one of the Macabre Fair film festivals too.
Oh, okay. Well, that is awesome to know. As a matter of fact, Reaper's Underground's own Mortimer Deadfellow is one of the biggest fans of Vincent Price. So I know he's going to be excited to know that. So that is really, really cool. What I'm doing right now is we are sharing this broadcast to all of my Facebooks, since Facebook has this huge vendetta against me because I was inappropriate. I was a bad boy, apparently, a couple of weeks ago. So YouTube is the only way to see this right now, but damn it, they cannot stop me from sharing it either way. So, man, that is a huge accomplishment. But what I want to do, let's take it back. Let's take it back a few steps, man. Kyler, what's going on, brother? So glad to have you. Don't forget, everybody, we have Horror Show Jack with us for the next hour. Feel free to ask your questions and get them answered, okay? Especially any would-be special effects artists and, well, creator, as it were. So don't be afraid to ask them. We'll get them answered tonight. Let's take it back, man. What inspired you to become the Fangsmith that you are?
It's funny. I was actually just having this conversation with a friend on the phone. In 1998, I was in Red Bank, New Jersey. And it was like, oh God, it's like about 4 months after I went through a breakup, and this girl had introduced me heavily into the vampiric world. Like, I always was obsessed with horror and vampires and stuff, but she took it to the next level. I was at a shop near Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash, and they said they had a fang maker coming in. I'm like, when's he going to be here? And they're like, December or whatever. So I drove back down in December, and the guy made them right on my teeth, but he also made them right in front of me. And I remember thinking, I'm like, I think I could do this. But I'm like, I don't know where to get the materials and stuff to make this. And I was like, and I also don't ever want to put my hands in anyone's mouth. So then
it's a little
Yeah. And I think his name was Father Vincent. He did the fangs for Interview with a Vampire. So he made me a pair.
How do I know that name?
Oh, there's so many. You see, that's why I'm Horror Show Jack and I'm not Father. I have no children. I'm not sending anybody to college. I am not the leader of any. I am not the leader of a cult, because I've heard some stories about some of these vampire clans. I mean, I'm not against it. I'm not in it. I don't think I'm a vampire. Do I avoid sunlight? Yes, because I don't tan. I burn. I'm Italian, but I'm slightly allergic to garlic, and everyone makes fun of me when I tell them. I'm like, yeah, I'm allergic to garlic. And they're like, oh yeah, because you're a vampire. I'm like, no, it's a stomach issue. But then this other company made me another pair in 1999 in Philadelphia, and they were very unprofessional. Their work was good, but they also went out of business long before I got started doing conventions. And then I remembered to bring them to to my dentist, and he's like, you could probably this is dental acrylic. You could probably start your own business. And I'm like, well, I don't know about that, but I'll start making them for myself. And then people at Ren fairs and my haunted house started seeing me with the fangs, and they're like, oh, would you make me a pair? And I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah, I'll pay you. I'm like, hey, okay.
Ooh, I could make some money at this.
Yep.
I mean, especially at that time, you have Typo Negative, one of the greatest gothic doom bands of all time, and you have Peter fucking Steele leading the charge with the fact that the guy had surgical implanted fucking fangs. So I can only imagine, because I can remember back to those times because I was still in college. I graduated in '99 from Kent State. And everyone was like, I want fangs. I want them. I want implants. I want to do this. So you were kind of in the trenches at that time, at the height of the excitement.
I actually, from '99 to late 2000, I interned at Roadrunner Records. And
Nice.
Peter Steele did not have, he probably had fangs, but he did not have them surgically implanted. That one fang the one fang you always saw, he had a snaggletooth.
Oh, really?
And it was very predominant. Yes. Because I remember he was in a couple of these low budget movies that this guy Beelzebub makes. And honestly, I mean, these movies are ridiculous. And I think literally these movies are just made for him to get young girls naked. I mean, there was one movie called Dick Shark, for God's sake.
I could think of a few indie actors that do that specifically.
Oh yeah, but this movie, dude, let me tell you about this movie, Dick Shark. It was so horribly bad, it was good. But here's the better part: the 2 hours of bloopers after the movie were better than the goddamn movie itself.
Brother, I completely believe you on that.
But he had a lot of he had Peter Steele in a couple of his movies. And I remember, and they zoomed in on that snaggletooth. So I'm just like, okay. And I mean, and I'm not making fun of Peter Steele. It was just like one side of his jawline had this very pronounced canine. And then there was another. I'm friends with Anthony. I can't remember his last name. I haven't talked to him in so long. But he's the head of Acid Bath Productions, and he always would have Dave Brockie and Odorous Arungus in his movies. So I mean, that drew me writing. So I'm a huge Guar fan. But the funniest thing is, I got to meet Peter Steele in 1999 at Irving Plaza at an Anthrax concert.
Whoa.
I'm sitting there just waiting for Anthrax to come on, and my friend comes. He's like, dude, you got to come up to the hallway. I'm like, why? I've got a good spot right here. He goes, no, you got to meet this guy. I'm like, who? He goes, Peter Steele's in the fucking hallway. And I'm like, lead the way. Now, I'm not going to say Peter Steele smokes a lot of weed, but the man shook my hand, and I'm like, I'm hungry, and I don't know why. But he very, very nice guy.
A girl layout. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And, when I interned at Roadrunner, I was going through my cubicle and the desk they gave me, and I found 4 copies of that Playgirl.
Oh, I believe it.
So I stuffed them all in my bag. I'm like, these are gonna, like, first of all, I'm like, I know 2 chicks that want these, and I'm like, maybe I'll get a date out of this. And then I'm like, and then one I'm gonna keep for nostalgic purposes, and one I was gonna sell. I can't find that anymore. That was like 25 years ago. And I never thought I would utter the words, I lost my Playgirl with Peter Steele.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I've met members of Typo Negative at the strangest concerts. Like, I met the drummer in 2013 at a Guar concert.
Oh, I believe it. Sure, absolutely. Johnny Kelly.
Yep.
Or are you talking about the original drummer?
No, Johnny Kelly, the taller, the last drummer they had before he passed.
Which was amazeballs. Once Johnny Kelly got into that band, they just like elevated, in my opinion.
I mean, I didn't mind the first drummer. The first drummer was really good too. I didn't remember his name.
Yes. I just think that Johnny Kelly was just a little bit more like skilled. His fills, presence, everything. Like, you know, and I hate to say this because I don't believe in such things, but photographically, he fit the band like all the way around. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. No, I understand. You know, I hate to admit it too, but I mean, like one of the things that your talent has to be astronomical if you are not the photogenic, stereotypical fashion style that and look that people want.
Absolutely.
You know, because when I first heard of Adele, it's like, oh, she's so talented. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, and then someone's like, yeah, and she's very talented for a big girl, and I'm like, size has nothing to do with talent.
No,
but I'm like, wait a minute. She's like a. But then I thought to myself, I'm like, wait a minute. She's a mainstream singer, and she's a bigger girl. Like, I have even so much more respect for her because I mean, like, that's not an easy thing to do.
Well,
you know,
Aretha Franklin. I mean, she was thick, and everybody adored her. And to be honest,
Marilyn Monroe wasn't a twig.
No, exactly.
That's it's pretty much Mama Cass. I mean, so but I guess it just matters how they hold themselves because you know bigger women can be sexy if they carry themselves with the right. And it's not just women; it's anyone. It's just like you carry yourself with the right presence, I guess. You know, I'm still trying to figure it out. You know, I'm 2 years single, and everyone's like, "Oh, dad bods are in." I'm like, "Tell me why I'm not getting laid and I'm single." I got the dad bod without the kids. So you tell me what's wrong with me.
Come on, people. Big is in. But seriously, though, what led you to creating these fantastic things?
I originally just started making them for myself. For a couple of years, I was a vampire at a haunted house, and then my character evolved. So I started making them for myself, and then people just started asking me to make them for them. And so from 2001 to roughly about 2006, from August to the beginning of November, I was always heavily busy with Fang orders. And then like throughout the year, I'd get like one or two because I was working the day job. I don't know shit about making a website. And then when I learned about doing conventions, the first convention I did was one called the Wicked Fair, the Wicked Winter Renaissance Fair, by a guy who I'm not going to name because he's a piece of garbage. And the amount of stuff that happened, it was so bad. It was so upsetting. Like 9 years after the show had, I remember her. Like the show got hit with all these allegations, and I'm like, and I had been there since the beginning. So everyone's like, "Did you know about this?" I'm like, I knew some shit was going down. I didn't know what. I showed up at 9 o'clock. I opened my booth at 10. I worked till 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, closed my booth, got some food, got a drink, went to bed, rinse, wash, repeat, did the same thing the next day, packed up my shit on Sunday, went home. So I never got involved in any of this shit. I didn't know about anything that was going on. So they're like, "Oh, you didn't know about this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I went to a couple room parties. And when things, in my opinion, were getting a little too weird, I left."
Gotta love it.
You know, when you see clowns giving you a human car wash to clean your karma, I'm like, I need to go to bed. I need to go to bed. So then my first actual convention was this show in Fairfield, New Jersey, called Super Mega Fest.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not make one sale at that convention because it was my first convention. I was nervous. I didn't know how to present myself. I was just very disorganized, but I made my connections. And after less than a year, that show had paid itself off because it was local to where I lived. And all the people that saw me there came to my home and got appointments and did it that way. So then my first horror convention was Monster Mania in the one show they had up in Connecticut. And then my second was later the same year in 2009. I did the Cherry Hill show. And now I'm all over the place. You know, I've been to New Orleans. I've been to Ohio. I've been to Florida, all the way up to Maine. I've done tattoo conventions. And everyone's like, you know, well, I have a little show. I don't know. I'm like, there is no show too small or too big. You could tell me you're having a pool party and you want me to set my booth up. If it's an opportunity to have fun and make money, I'm taking it.
No, for real. I mean, as a vendor, not only as a creator, I mean, that's what you do.
Yeah.
And if the demand is there, fuck yeah, get the fuck out there.
and you know, in the last, I started in 2013 with the Macabre Fair Film Festival. That is where I got my breakthrough in comedy. Mm-hmm. And they decided they were going to take B celebrities, and by that I mean celebrities you've never heard of, and they would roast them. So the first guy was this guy called Wise A. He was this horror-themed rapper. And I knew him. And I'm just like, yo, who's on the roster for roasting him? And they said, we only have 2 people. I'm like, I want in.
Put me in.
I really want in. And this is what they said to me. It's like, well, I know it's a sensitive issue, but, you know, we got to be careful. I'm like, why? Careful about what? Like, what aren't we allowed to say? So, well, you know, he's black. I'm like, what do you mean we have to be careful? I'm like, what do you think I'm going to do? Be racist? No, I know the guy. He's a friend of mine. I'm not like, you're worried about the roasters being racist? What? I was so blown away by that. I'm like, no. I mean, I can make, it doesn't matter what color, what gender, or where you're from. I can make fun of you in a respectful manner without using racial slurs. That's the bottom of the barrel. I mean, I don't need that kind of shit. And I was just so blown away by that. And the funny thing is that every single roaster got off and all of them said the same thing to me. It's like, I was so scared. I'm so glad I never dropped the N-word. I'm like, you were really worried about that? I'm like, you get on stage and you have a microphone and you have a reputation and you're worried about using that word? I'm not worried about using that word because that word ain't coming out of my mouth.
Exactly. I mean, come on. Even Mel Brooks himself didn't use that word.
I mean,
goodness.
I was just, I mean, but I remember how I met him. I turn around at a show and this guy is hitting on my girlfriend, and that's how he and I became friends. Because I walked up and he goes, he's like, "Oh man, this your girl?" And he called me the N-word, but the not the and I'm just like, you can say that to me. So I looked at him. I'm like, "What's up, my cracker?" And he goes, "What?" I'm like, "What? You think I'm going to use that word?" And he goes, "Well, you shouldn't." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, because I want to see tomorrow."
Well, yeah, for sure.
It's just like, I don't know. I mean, like, I went to a comedy show and someone says, like, "Oh, you look like you're from Duck Dynasty." I'm like, "Great, I look like a fat old racist. That's great. That's great. Thank you."
Which is making
Although
a by the way.
I know
I just saw
it's the cowboy hat, but hold on. You look at this. It's like this. I'm the chubby Rob Zombie. I do this. My roommate, where she works, her employees have been like, so we've seen you in the real world. So who's the biker Santa Claus looking motherfucker you're hanging out with? I'm like, I was like, is that a fat joke?
Right. Exactly.
But I mean,
I love
fucking
it.
ridiculous.
So up and down. Was there any like specific films that have inspired some of your creations as far as Fangs?
30 Days of Night. 30 Days of Night and Tobey Maguire's Venom in Spider-Man 3.
I love those as well. I'm so glad you said that.
What was one? The one pair of fangs I haven't made yet, and I tried making this in the early days when I wasn't as skilled as I am now. And I mean, people have called me a master. I am not a fang master. I am a student of life, and there's always something more to learn. There's Fangsmiths out there that my skills are superior to. There are Fangsmiths out there who can blow me out of the water. So I mean, like I'm just me. I'm here to do my job and make as many people happy as I can while I'm here. But it was Vampire in Brooklyn with Eddie Murphy. The fangs he had were beautiful.
Yes. And we've actually mentioned Vampire in Brooklyn a couple of times on the Horror Barbecue. Those fangs were so lifelike, seamless. It seemed like he was able to, deliver his lines very easily with those fangs.
Yeah. But yeah, 30 Days of Night, like I remember when seeing that, I'm like, I want to make those.
Yeah.
And they're a lot of fun.
That was one of those very first films, especially in the 2000s, that was so original. They weren't so bent on, they're archaic, they come from medieval times, the romance, all that stuff. No, these motherfuckers came over on a ship, figured out that there was a place in the world where it's darkness for an entire month. And I honestly said I thought that was the best vampire film to come out in a very long time. Nothing against
and traditional vampires. Like they weren't pretty. Nope. They weren't pretty. They weren't they weren't sparkly.
Anything like
that.
No,
they just rip your throat out.
You're my food, you die. That's it.
Yeah.
End of story.
But I will stand firmly on my favorite vampire movie of all time is The Lost Boys. I mean, like bike riding vampires. I mean, plus Kiefer Sutherland looked awesome with a mullet. That is very hard to do. Like he didn't look like white trash.
That was the only mullet during that time that was iconic, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who came up with that, but damn it, you're a genius. Whoever the hairdresser was. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Holy fuck. As a matter of fact, one of my longtime viewers here, Kyler, he says, have you ever been in Virginia horror convention? I think we've met.
It is possible. What you have to, unfortunately, you have to tell me what convention because I can't tell you. I've done a couple conventions in Virginia. Well, Blood at the Beach was in Virginia. What else was in Virginia? I did. It was a couple of the Blood at the Beaches, and I did one Richmond Wizard World.
Nice.
And
Awesome.
I mean, like, the person's name was Tyler because I'm not seeing any of the questions come up. So
Skull Maggot, yeah. Skull Maggot is the handle, but we know him affectionately as Tyler. So
sounds familiar, but I mean, you say the name Tyler. I mean, I'm like, which one? Because I know a lot, and male and female and non-binary as well. So I mean, Tyler's across the name, across the board type name. Oh, now there's. Well, I'm even with my glasses, I can't read that.
oh, that's okay. I understand.
Well, I mean, you're literally this big. You and I are like little. I thought if I turned my phone sideways, it would make it bigger. But let me try it again.
We can try it. Hey, now you're even
Oh,
bigger.
Oh, sweet.
Fantastic.
All right. Excellent, but I still can't see.
There we go.
Okay, now I can see what I'm
Put it
doing.
back up if you want. Mortimer, also one of my co-hosts of the fucking hell Horror Barbecue, says cult classic convention in Texas. Sounds like that's definitely a spot you might want to try.
I want to do that because it's run by Casey Orr, who played one of the beefcakes for Guar.
Yes.
So right on. Oh crap! Also, I did 2 of the Guarbecues.
Oh hell yeah!
So and that's in Richmond.
Mm. Fantastic. So yeah, there's a chance, Kyler, that you did run into Horror Show Jack. Did you get fanged up? Is the question.
Was I in your mouth? Was I in your mouth, Tyler? Is it Kyler or Tyler?
It's Kyler.
Yeah.
Oh man.
This is a joke. This is a joke I do at conventions. I keep one of these stickers in my wallet, and I go up to a woman. I'm like, "This is my pickup line."
Right.
Am I being too forward?
I mean,
I realize.
No.
I really.
Man.
Yeah, right. I really don't wonder why I'm single. I know why I'm single. Very, very bad choices. What the?
I mean, but in the horror genre, I mean, we all have kinks, don't we?
Oh yeah.
We've talked about it many times on the goddamn program. So you all are freaks and you know it. So let this man in your mouth. What are some of the most fangs that you've created are your personal favorites?
Oh, personal favorites. I love doing the canines because they're just I can bang them out in my sleep. Underworlds. I love making the Lost Boys set.
Mm-hmm.
They've made a resurgence recently. I really love making the Buffy the Vampire style set.
Now, see, that does not surprise me, considering that they are revamping, or should I say, going into the next chapter of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Is Sarah Michelle Gellar coming back?
Oh, yes, she is.
Oh, okay, good. I'm like,
like, and if
I have it without her.
Spike is also coming back too.
He still looks good.
He does. The English never fucking age, I swear.
He is a funny guy too. In 2012 or 13, I was doing a Wizard World at in Chicago, and a friend I wanted to meet him, and a friend of mine wanted an autograph from him. So I figured I'll go get a picture with him. I'll get her an autograph. And the people in front of me were like, "Our friend of ours couldn't come. Would you talk to her on the phone?" And he goes, "Sure." So he's like, "Hello, Casey. Why aren't you here? We're all naked having an orgy in my hotel room. Hey, I know that guy." And then all of a sudden he's like, "Hello, hello." He goes, "She hung up on me." And I'm laughing. And he looked at me. He goes, "Why would she hang up on me?" I'm like, "She must be a prude."
It's like, what do you say to that? You know,
Right?
oh my goodness. Yeah. So that is awesome to know that there is a demand for the fangs that are very famously made from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. What would be some of the other ones? Because actually, Mortimer, what's up, my brother?
Oh.
He says, I also really loved Dracula's fangs in Monster Squad.
Yes, and I have never gotten to make. I've made something similar, but not those specifically, because he had a whole mouth, very similar to kind of like the logo right there, and like he had like the neat version of 38 Days of Night.
Mm-hmm.
30 Days with 38. I'm going to bed. Good night, folks.
Well, you know, you might have gotten tripped up because there's 28 years later coming out right now.
Yeah. I don't know about anyone else.
About it.
That bothers me so much because you went 28 days, 28 weeks. Where is the 28 months? It's all the same. The movie isn't even 28 years old yet.
Nope. Which is crazy. Which actually sparks another question. Do you do any, you know, can't really call them fangs, but do you do multi-creature style?
Oh, yeah. I had a guy come to me, and I've sold a couple pairs. He just wanted 3 or 4 teeth on the lower jaw to stick out of his mouth, and he called them he was playing a Frankenstein monster, but he wanted these gangly teeth to stick out. Johnny, the actor who played Johnny from the original Night of the Living Dead, I met him in 2010. Was it 2010, 2012? One of the two. And he tells me, he goes, well, I'm doing an indie film, and I play this British woman with bulbous buck teeth. Could you make me bulbous buck teeth? And I'm like, yes. Now I got a picture of him. I got a picture of him wearing them, but I never got a picture of him as the woman with the bulbous buck teeth.
Ah, damn it.
But I mean, because I made fangs for him, I made fangs for Judith, who played the original Barbara. In 2023, they had a whole bunch of people from Night of the Living Dead, and I had them all sign a movie poster for me, and no one charged me because I knew the two of them.
Nice.
They all just signed it. I'm like this is one of my favorite zombie movies of all time.
Hell yeah. Let's see here. We have some more questions. Okay. So this is a great question for you. I have to ask, what are the worst fangs you've seen in cinema? The ones that you found that were kind of hokey, kind of stupid, you know, that kind of thing.
There was an episode of True Blood where when Pam was rotting, and the fangs she had, they looked like the scarecrows, and there was a scene where they were filming where her fangs were crooked, and I'm like, no, it's not right. But where the fangs were really
a great example, because I absolutely agree with that. They probably thought, well, you know, cinematography wise, it would like show that she is decaying and all that stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, like, to have the fangs crooked, decay doesn't make your teeth crooked.
No, it totally doesn't.
But
they
I know. I know. I'm gonna think about this later, and it's gonna drive me nuts. You're gonna get a text message like 5 hours after this interview. It was this fucking movie. I just saw Corbin Nash on Peacock, and that has Malcolm McDowell in it. They had the plastic fangs in it, but the way they put them in, it didn't look bad. It was okay. But Lost Boys 2. Hated the fangs.
Oh, dude, we didn't just hate the fangs. We hated the film. Come on. It was terrible. That was a full-on piece of shit attempt to keep the franchise going. I'm not even going to talk about the reboot. The reboot was awful.
Well, I haven't even seen the reboot. Wait, the reboot actually got made?
Yeah. There was
bad
reboot, and then there was a part 2 that had come out, and they tried to have the Frog Brothers sell the shit.
So I met Corey Feldman, and he apologized. I hate digital fangs, so do I. He apologized to me for Lost Boys 2. And here's the funny thing, since we're on the topic of Lost Boys. Corey Feldman was a trans woman vampire in Corbin Nash. I'm watching this movie and I'm looking at her and I'm like, why does she sound so familiar? And I'm like, oh, and I Google it, I'm like, oh, it is him! Ah!
Why am I not surprised to hear that he did such a role? That's hilarious. I love it.
Oh.
Tyler also says, mine is Triple H from Blade 3. Could not stand the fangs that he wore. And yes, why were they metal? They never explained it. They're just there like, oh, we're trying to be hip. You know what I'm saying?
My friends, people who I used to know years ago refer to Blade 3, Blade Trinity, as a cinematic abortion. Like you had this great concept, and then halfway through the process, you just hit the abort button.
No, seriously, they did fuck that up. Did they assemble good talent? Abso-fucking-lutely. But they did kind of dumb Blade down in that film. And that was probably my biggest problem with it. Because they were trying to showcase Ryan Reynolds, who would go on to play Deadpool. And
when he came out in Deadpool 3, I was, oh my God, the theater just erupted.
Is that the one with Wolverine?
Yep, Deadpool and Wolverine. When he walked out, the whole theater did. Oh!
I did not like that one at all.
Really?
No.
I enjoyed that one a lot because I love Deadpool, but I love Wolverine. So
Wolverine's part in that was fucking fantastic, but the rest of it just seemed like, dude, we're just trying to go as silly as we can go. And Ryan Reynolds is great as Deadpool, but damn it, come on, man. All the millions of different Deadpools. And I mean, I get it. If, obviously if you follow the comic, they were trying to squish so much in there. But it just got stupid for me. So my question for you, though, is, since we're on that topic, do you think Glenn Danzig would have been a better choice for Wolverine?
No.
Gotcha.
Looks-wise, because if you went comic book accurate for his size, yes. But I've never met Glenn Danzig. But I know plenty of people who have worked with him, toured with him, and grew up with him. And the man is an asshole, and he is extremely difficult to work with. When in the late '90s, in the mid '90s, when he was touring with Danzig, his solo band, I met someone who worked with them and toured with them. Glenn had his own bus, and the band would go weeks or even months without talking with each other. The only time they saw each other was right before they went out on stage.
And if you guys go back into my archives from talking with John Christ and Erie Vaughn, the interviews that I've done, you know that shit is true.
There's no audio to it, but look up on YouTube Glass Jaw Glenn Danzig.
Oh my goodness. The punch heard around the world. Yes. Kind of like piggybacking off of that. Now, this is the crazy part, because I'm still a great Danzig fan, always will.
Oh, yeah.
Songs, Sam Hain, Misfits, all the way down the chain. But he did, not too long ago, I'd say it was somewhere in the last 5 years, he did a vampire film. I
heard about it.
Himself. It's called Death Rider in the House of Vampires. I bought this because the only place you could get it from was Cleopatra Records, which is his current distribution for his albums. And I was kind of hoping that you may or may not have seen this, but
I need to see it.
Dude, it's got Eli Roth. It's one of Julian Sands, the great fucking warlock star, as the head vampire. And I really kind of felt the fangs in this film. It's got Danny Trejo as well, the great Devin Sawa from the Final Destination series. He's the main guy. He plays Death Rider. He only goes by Death Rider. I thought the fangs were really well done. Just wanted to kind of get your opinion on that. But if you haven't seen it, definitely do that. I'll try to get you a copy.
I will. Okay. I will add it to my watch list. Is it streaming on anything?
See, that's the crazy part. I think it is. I think it's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, I have that.
Definitely check it out. Because I thought the fangs were well done, especially the great late legendary Julian Sands. I thought his fangs were well done. Now, that kind of like also piggybacks into, have you done any for some of the celebrities, at least on the underground level, like the indie world?
Yes. One, I unfortunately, I will not talk to him and talk about him. And I told him he's not allowed to tell people I made fangs from because he's too much of a political radicalist, and I will not have my name attached to anything political.
I understand that.
But people, oh God, Heather Drew. Is a dear friend of mine, and she's been in a lot of indie films. She also teaches a death class, a class on how to die cinematically.
I love it.
Yeah, she is one of my favorite people. I do not get to talk to her all that often. She's a metalhead. She's got that sweet girl next door look, and she's just like. She's one of the kindest people I've ever met. I made alien demon fangs for, I don't know the actor's name, but the company is Massgrave Productions, run by my friend and his wife. And I'm drawing a blank on his name. I know his wife's name is Lindsay. And oh my God. If he sees this, he's going to punch me in the face.
Oh, it happens. It does.
Oh, I know. Manny, Jesus Christ. And I just saw him like 2 months ago too. He came down from New York and passed through North Carolina. Manny and Lindsay run Mass Grave Productions, um, and I 11 years ago I found out my fangs are very well known in the adult industry because
Oh,
there is a movie that Johanna Angel directed and starred in called Vampire Cheerleaders, and a adult film actress named Draven got a pair of fangs from me
ah,
at a show called the National Haunters Convention. I just thought she was a risque cosplayer, so she signs a couple pictures for me, and she goes, "Here, let me give you my DVD," and I'm like, "Okay," and I'm like, "Whoa!"
wait a minute.
I'm like, all right, I just made thanks for a porn star. Cool. So I was making the joke the whole time. I'm like, I'm going to go back to my room and watch this tonight. My room, we were staying at a Motel 6, so we didn't have a DVD player. I had to wait to go home to spank it to that one.
Six knows something about.
But yeah, this was when I did my first Exotica in Chicago. Johanna Angel came to my booth to get a pair of fangs for herself, and then a bunch of people from Burning Angels and a bunch of adult stars had throughout the years have come. They bought my bears, but she says to me, she goes, "I'm thinking about making a sequel to Vampire Cheerleaders. If I do, would you like to come down and fang the girls without missing a beat?" And I never act like this. I'm just like, "Fuck yeah!" I'm like, "Yes." I was like, "Yeah." I get to make fangs for a whole bunch of hot, half-naked women, and get paid for it. I'm like, where do I sign up? I actually made fangs for John Cassier, and he got the underworld style. He got the underworld style, and he wore them in a movie where he played a wolfman. And I just thought that was hilarious.
Now, that was actually one of Mortimer's thoughts a little bit earlier. He says, I have always wanted a set of teeth for a werewolf mid-transformation.
Ooh, I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Send me a message on Facebook. Harsho Jack Fangsmith. Just look that up on Facebook. Send me a message. I can do mail order. Unless you live in North Carolina.
Yes, out there in Black Flame Land, I have officially known where to find him, which is Horror Show Jack on Facebook and also Instagram as well.
And TikTok. and
TikTok.
and Twitter or X. I haven't figured out how to use X.
Whatever it's called this year.
And there's a horror themed social media app called Slasher, which my friend Damien designed years ago, and it's a very cool platform for people who are in the horror community. There's no politics, there's no drama. You are only allowed to post horror themed stuff.
Nice, and that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Let's see. Oh, and he also mentions the fangs from Forever Night, if you remember that series.
Yes. I can't remember what style. I haven't seen. Oh God, that's racking my brain. So
it goes way back.
I mean, I mean, I'm sure I can make them.
Hell yeah. But not only are you the Fangsmith that you are, you also make some amazing creations that involve different plushies, stuffed animals. I want to put a spotlight on that because when I met you, yes, at Scarefest last year, Scarefest weekend in the house. You can remember that me and my demonic duo brother, the Defiler, was there, and we got a chance to talk to you. Let's talk about how you got into these mutation, wonderful, horrific ideas on stuffed animals and things?
So the stuffed animal things, I believe everything happens for a reason, and this I was dating
Person.
this girl, yeah, and I just think back of how horrible the relationship. I'm like, I was dating this terrible person.
I was going to say, I was trying to fill in the blanks, so we did.
I was engaged to this girl, and I went to do a convention, and she basically put me through hell over the phone. Like, it got to the point where the guy I was working with, every time I'd go to call her, he'd just put his hand on my arm and go, "You really need to call her?" Because I would just be so miserable after I got off the phone with her. So I got home, and it was like the weekend after Valentine's Day. She goes, "I have a present for you." And I'm like, and my first thought was, if it's a severed head, I'm going to be really upset. So she holds up this bear. She had cut the arm off, stitched it up, pulled its eye out, poured fake blood all over it. And I'm just like, oh my God. And she goes, "Do you like it?" I'm like, "I love it." And I'm looking at him like, I have an idea. And she's like, "What?" I'm like, "I think if we make these, people will buy them." And literally, word for word, she looked at me and she goes, "I don't think that's a good idea." Now, I didn't say this, but I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, "I don't think you're a good idea." But back then, the little bears, all the bears I made were about this big, and they were just dollar store bears that we slapped fake blood on, false teeth. I made hockey masks for them. I had a friend of mine make a whole bunch of mini shirts, and I remember doing a Chiller Theater convention, and I left one of my bins there, and no one contacted me.
Oh, that's
and I lost so much respect for some of the people that for the people that do that convention, because they found my bin, and my name is written on all my bins. And they found my bin, and they had ripped it open, taken everything out of it, and turned the empty bin into the hotel.
What? That is absolutely an abomination. Because, you're trying to sell your creations. And these goddamn, conventions, they need, anytime something gets left behind, they should get in contact with you. But apparently, some of your creations are really taking off. If you'd like to showcase some of the stuff.
Yep, we've got. Oh, I'll just dump it out again.
Because I know,
I know your personal one of your personal favorites. We've got the mini Captain Spaulding. Got Chucky. This is a rare thing. People usually don't get to see the faces before I put them on. I got Jason. But I'll show you the newest ones that I have that I just dropped. We've got Uber Jason, a brand new version. And I actually thought he was going to be difficult to paint with all the veins, and actually was fairly easy. But
that film gets a bad rap. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I have a brand new Tiffany, but this is Tiffany from the Chucky series, where she's got the scar and the blood in her hair. Then got regular Tiffany,
right?
And I have a Glenn and Glenda, but unfortunately they're packed up. But I showed you these because I'm a huge Iron Maiden fan. I've got Eddie, but now I have Ghost Eddie. He's all white.
Nice.
And I've got a new critter, but here's a cool albino critters.
I mean,
so figure like I want to mix it up. I'm like, let's have an all white critter. Why not?
Yes, why not?
Well, and of course, this one was actually an accident that actually worked out well. I spilled fake blood on this, and I'm like, I'm just gonna let it dry. I'm like, what the hell? Why not? And
fuck yeah!
I poured a mold. I took a mold of my old roommate's teeth because he was missing his bottom teeth. So I'm gonna put that in the bear's head. Little fangs and stuff.
Accident. Yes.
Yes, yes.
So, like different teddy bears, and I mean, oh my goodness, yes, Art the Clown. Who the fuck doesn't want to clown on a bear or some other, beloved innocent, Oh yeah, see, that's badass. And you can see some of these creations on a short little video I have for us of when myself and Joe Jack first met. Ouch. Hey, it's your boy Reaper from Reaper's Underground, and I'm here with
Horror Show Jack.
That's right. He is truly the king of the fangs. So tell us.
The check's in the mail for saying that. Thank
you. Tell us what makes your fangs the best, and why everyone is just beating your door down to get them.
To be honest, it's other people's wording. I've never called myself the best because I really feel that there's always more to learn.
Yes.
Most Fangsmiths, and I don't dog on any of them. They make them right on your teeth. That is very dangerous and very unsanitary. We take an impression. This way, if you leave and someone said they're from Chicago or filming in Chicago. So if you live in Chicago, you get a pair of fangs from me at a show, and you lose them, you break them, dog eats them or whatever, you'd be surprised how people have lost their fangs. Got drunk and swallowed them. Or you're like, I like these, but I just saw a movie, I want this set. You don't have to wait till I come around. You can mail me the mold back, and then I can make them. And then just ship them out. So, I mean,
that's amazing.
It was a hobby that turned into a career. And
so, I mean, I don't know. What I know is this, especially as long as I've been in the podcasting and horror community over the last 4 years, when it comes to fangs, and that's why I said that in the video, you are one of the most sought after fangsmiths to do these. And the fact that you do them the way you do, you take the teeth impression. You're not just getting in their mouths, so to speak. You know what I mean? And you take the mold and then you make them, you really put your foot in them, as a lot of people say in the cooking world. You put your foot in them, and then when they come out, they fit perfectly. And how does the different, like, theater stores, the Spirit Halloween, what is one of your biggest faux pas as far as that's concerned? What are they doing wrong that you're doing right?
Well, the plastic ones that you get in the store, you melt the beads, they're good for a one-time use. Maybe like wear them 3 nights in a row and then never wear them again. Okay, go the cheap route. But if you're gonna make them part of a cosplay or part of a costume or part of your persona, the plastic always goes over the gum line. So every time you pull it off and you put it back on, you're pushing against your gum line. But also the plastic bonds bacteria to your teeth. And I've seen this where a couple people have worn the fangs so much on their teeth that their teeth have discolored. Unfortunately, some people have contacted me and said, well, I melt the plastic and I never get them in. Or, like, I will compliment people who have got them and they do them symmetrically, because sometimes one's going this way, one's going that way, or they just look weird. Horror and love.
Well, one of the things me personally, because I'm a huge Hammer horror fan, and they have a brand, that makes Sir Christopher Lee, at that, his fangs that he wore in those iconic Dracula films, and trying to get those on and make them work was damn near impossible. So I think I definitely know where I want to get my fangs done. And that's by you, sir.
I
Because
appreciate that, and I look forward to it.
oh, fucking A, right, man.
And one more thing, one of the brides of Christopher Lee's Dracula's at a show in 2012, I actually got to make her fangs.
Unholy shit, sir.
Oh my!
If
And,
you
and she
have a picture of
she had that thick. She was an older woman,
Well,
still
sure.
beautiful, and she had that British accent. I'm just like, I love you.
You're
Just keep
melting.
talking to me, please.
You're
Oh
melting.
yeah, oh yeah. I got to in 2019. I got to make fangs for the cast of the show on Netflix, iZombie, and oh God, what's her name? The girl that played Liv, Rose something.
Yeah. I know exactly who you're talking about.
I didn't know she was a newsie. I walked up to her booth and she's got that accent, and I'm like, hi. I just lost it. Because I'm friends with Zoe Bell from Death Proof, and she did some of the stunts in Kill Bill, and she's got the thick newsy accent. And every time she talks to me, I'm just like, I love you so much. But I mean, just so people know, it doesn't matter, woman or man. I had a guy from Scotland in my booth in 2016, and I'm just like, just keep talking, please. I was like, what?
I'm so dead. But that is a testament. I will say that. A lot of the greatest vampire films, in my opinion, have always had those great British actors, which is what made Hammer so amazing in the first place. No offense, Keanu Reeves, but damn it, don't ever do it again. His British was awful.
I've heard worse. I've heard worse. Oh yeah. I mean, but that's because it was still so close to like when he was in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. So he's like, but sir, and I'm waiting for him to go, whoa.
Right.
But I mean, Keanu Reeves is such a good actor.
He is.
You know, he's very dynamic. But I mean, like, everyone shit on him. I'm like, his role was so minute in that movie.
It was. But I mean, come on. Nobody bought that though. But it was great to have him in Bram Stoker's Dracula, no matter what.
Oh yeah.
I mean, honestly, he did add something to the flavor. But you know, it's hard when you're up against, you know, shit. His name just escaped me. Hannibal Lecter himself.
Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Yes.
And then the guy who played Dracula, whose name is now
goodness. Gary Oldman. Yeah.
Gary Oldman.
But no offense, but you know, Winona Ryder did a phenomenal job. Shit. So you know, it's like he was the only one that was falling behind, in my opinion. But damn it, great fangs on him, though.
Oh yeah.
You know, Gary Oldman. So thought he did a fantastic job. So
what I liked about Bram Stoker's Dracula, they had in the gum line, they had a slit and the fangs came down, and I thought that was very cool.
So and that actually brings up something very important to me, because I've seen online here and there the retractable fangs. Now, is that an area that you might get into in the future?
If I come across a possibility of figuring out how to make that, I will. But so far, and I travel all over, yes, I have not met anyone who's wearing them. And I've met a couple people who have bought them, and they've told me it's a scam. They don't work.
Really? That doesn't surprise me. And Mortimer's so awesome. He says, I just drove through a blue inferno. I love it.
One of the greatest things about Bram Stoker's Dracula
Yes, sir.
was every time you watch it, the more you pay attention, you're going to notice different things. Like every time I watch it, I'm like, I've never noticed that before. But now, going back to the question from before, Fangs I don't like, and vampire movies I don't like. The remake of Nosferatu was a piece of shit.
Thank you.
It was cinematically awful. Now, honestly, personally, I feel, I don't know her name, but I feel like that movie was just an excuse to get Johnny Depp's daughter naked.
Agreed.
Like, I know there's undertones of sexuality in vampire movies and the gothic genre, but I mean, to have it just boom right in your face is like sex, sex, tits, sex. She's gonna fuck a corpse. That's one that sex scene made me nauseous. The ending was awful. The Nosferatu, he's in the movie a lot, but you can't see him because it's so dark. The fangs in that movie you saw for 0.00005.5 seconds.
Yes.
And they looked like crap. Nosferatu was a buck-toothed, lanky vampire. And everyone was telling me, he's like, oh, but, you know, the sets were all real.
Oh.
Reality check, ladies and gentlemen. I studied film in college briefly. And no, that shit was not. And how you can tell if a set is real or fake, look at the sky. If the clouds aren't moving and they are stationary and the moon isn't doing like this flickering type thing, it's fake. And if you don't believe me, watch the orca scene while they're hunting the shark in Jaws. That is a real fucking sky. There's 3 or 4 shooting stars in that movie. So, I mean, they were beautifully done. But the more and more I'm watching that movie, I'm like, this reminds me of something. Oh, they took the storyline that the original writer got sued by Bram Stoker's wife because it was too close to Bram Stoker's Dracula story.
Yeah, exactly. And that's fine. But damn it, if you're trying to sell a celebrated, and I mean celebrated, everyone still to this day watches the 1922 film Nosferatu. This film could have done something so much better, but yet they sold it on the fact that Bill Skarsgård's dick is in the film. And that's what was talked about more than anything on the
And he is a good actor. He just made two shit movies. Like I found out in March of last year, a friend of mine told me a friend of his had seen the test audience was in the test audience for Beetlejuice, and The Crow. I'm like, okay. Results? He goes, Beetlejuice, excellent. I'm like, okay. The Crow, absolute dog shit.
It was,
and but here's the thing: I really, really want to see it because everyone hated it.
To watch it, I can't.
I have to watch it. Well, my whole thing is, if I hate a movie, if I go and I see and I hate a movie, I will watch it 1 or 2 more times because you know I have been wrong. Like the first time I saw Legendary's Godzilla, I hated it. Why? Because I had just worked 37 hours in 3 days at a convention, a steampunk convention. Then me, a buddy, and my girlfriend at the time, went to see the movie in 2014. And I fell asleep halfway through it. I'm like, Godzilla was never in it. He breathed fire once. This was fucking awful. 2 days later, I go to see it with my roommate. I'm like, you know what Godzilla 2014 reminds me of? It is the Godzilla version of the 1975's version of Jaws. You barely see Godzilla, but when he's there, it's larger, alive, and amazing, and I loved it.
Now, I do have to agree with Mortimer on this one. He says the Dracula series on Netflix was absolutely
amazing. Amazing.
fucking amazeballs.
It was so good. It's so good. It pissed me off that we got one season and that was it. I watched that during the pandemic, and it's 5 years later. I'm like, come on. I'm like, it's the same thing with it's the same thing with like the Newsroom on HBO. I'm like, come on. Even the movie Nightbreed. I want the continuation.
Dude, that's a universe that could be so done. But, you know,
well,
think
I have an idea.
Just doesn't want to let that go.
I need to meet people who are willing to work on a movie because I want to create the slasher verse. I have an idea for a family.
Ooh.
That it starts out with two brothers that are separated from their parents, and sent to live with their doom prepper grandfather, and then something happens because they're being poisoned. One goes off to military school, and the other they thought just died, but he lived. He's kind of influenced between Michael Myers and Jason, and Leatherface all in one. Like, he's slow, but at the same time, he's been trained to survive. And he's like 7.5 feet tall. He's this behemoth of a creature. And the story is going to go in this way. So by the time you get to the fourth story, now there's a whole family and they're all together.
We'll call it an Act 4. I love it. Sure, absolutely, man. As a matter of fact, we may have to talk about that, especially
I'm all in.
Some of the writers and directors that I am currently involved with might actually get into this idea. I love that shit. Absolutely. Because as an indie horror community, people such as ourselves, creators, we can make magic, and we keep showing the mainstream that they suck all the way around. Because let's face it, Hollywood absolutely has lost their stranglehold. There is no mainstream left in horror, as I feel.
I haven't seen Hard Eyes yet, and everyone is up in arms, and I haven't seen it yet. But Sinner's already making me money. Everybody wants the fangs from that movie.
Interesting.
I've gotten 5 inquiries in the past 2 weeks.
No shit.
So I got to go see that movie.
So maybe I need to see Sinners.
When True Blood premiered that weekend, it made me a couple $100.
No shit. Wow. Now
that was back in my early days.
I believe that. The one that everyone is up in arms of right now is the film Bring Her Back.
I've heard it. I do not know the premise.
Oh, it's being billed as the most original horror film made in the last 10 years. So we shall see.
Every time I've heard that. I've heard that a couple times in the past 10 years, and I got to tell you, each time,
right?
Boner killer. Just mental boner killer. I go see it. I'm like, yeah. It's like, you got this gorgeous woman. She takes her clothes off. The boobs are fake in a push-up bra. The butt is pillows. The legs are fake. The hair is a wig. It's just like.
No offense, though, to anybody out there in the Black Flame universe, and my feelings on this. There is no pair of tits or woman that sells horror for me. I want to see a creature. I want to see
feel.
You know what I'm saying? Like that fear, That is what's most important to me.
I want a female slasher so they can use the phrase "putting sexy in slasher."
There you go. Now that I think would be a hot commodity. But at the same time,
you have American Mary, Catherine Isabel, who was the first celeb.
Yeah.
Yep, and I'm friends with them. And the first two celebrities I got to make fangs for was Miguel Nunez from Return of the Living Dead and Catherine Isabel. And I still am to this day. I am in love with that woman. I would run away with that woman. I would if I had the opportunity and was worthy of them, I would marry Jen or Sylvia Soska and I would take their last name. Fuck it, I don't care. I mean, I love them so much, and it's not a sexual thing. Yes, are they gorgeous? Abso-fucking-lutely, but who they are as people. And I look at Jen and Sylvia. They're yes, they're twins. And yes, they do great things, but they are their own entities. They are two beautiful horror goddesses that I love, and I would lay my life down for them.
They are what I like to call beautifully fucked up.
Oh God!
Because the horror stories that come out of their minds are just, I don't know. Horror and sexuality go together for me.
Absolutely.
When it's dark like that, I think that's sexy. You don't have to show me any tits. You don't have to show me ass. It's the gore factor for me. When they did what was that? Jacob Goodnight, the
Rabbit.
Yes, that when they did that film,
beautiful.
I actually thought it was more powerful than the first one.
They did something that is such a rare occurrence.
Yes.
I like theirs better than the original. I respect the original. The original was amazing. As soon as I heard they were remaking it, I immediately went out and watched the original, and I like it for what it's worth, but it was better. Just like the 1990s with Candyman, Tony Todd, Night of the Living Dead in 1990. I would say in some ways better than the original, but equal. What I liked better about that version was Barbara became a badass instead of becoming. In the original, she was shell-shocked. She was shell-shocked. And two things I will always stand by horror. Because one of the reasons why I wanted to get into comedy was to crush this stigma that horror movies have. And the first is, who always dies first?
Right.
Everyone says the black guy. Well, I ask you this. Name a horror movie, the black guy dies first. And I've done this joke on stage. I'm like, I'll wait. It took me 2 years when I first wrote that joke to come up with a movie other than Nightmare on Elm Street 4, because Kincaid dies first. But you want to know why that doesn't count? He survived part 3. So, I mean, I can name more movies where the black guy made it all the way to the end. Let's go to classics. Night of the Living Dead. He made it all the way to the end. Yes, some stupid-ass redneck shot him, but still, and this goes even deeper. George A. Romero was respected so much for it's like, oh, you're doing this political statement, this big activist thing by making a black man the lead role. And he goes, I don't care if he was black. He was the best audition. And that's what I'm saying. Horror, we don't see color. We don't see race. We don't see male, female. We see talent. It doesn't matter. And I respected him so much for that. But also, right after the pandemic, there was this big resurgence of cancel culture, and we need more strong women. We need more strong women in cinema. I'm like, is anybody watching horror movies? Who kills the killer? It's almost always a girl, a woman. And wait, let's not get 19.
Let's
19
Halloween, for fuck's sake.
Let's go back even. Wait, 78. That was the same year Alien came out too, right?
Correct.
Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver.
She carried that whole franchise. You couldn't make an Alien movie without
Who
Sigourney
the
Weaver, and
fuck
she was a badass.
survived? Who the fuck survived Leatherface's first incarnation back in 1974? Hello, the girl fucking lasted. At the end, and she got away in the back of the fucking pickup truck.
Well, she got away, but she didn't kill the killer.
She didn't kill
She
the
escaped.
killer. She still got away, though. She
Yes.
was a final girl.
Oh yeah, final girl, yes. But I'm saying like she was a strong character, but she wasn't a strong character. Like she didn't kill anyone. Like I'm talking about Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street, Alice. How about Alice from Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and 5? Tangled with Freddy twice and survived.
There it is, right there.
Yeah.
Who the fuck could get away from Robert Englund's grasp at that point? There were
I mean, like
instances.
And Heather Langenkamp, she was in Nightmare on Elm Street 1, then she was brought back in 3, and then when they killed Freddy, they brought her back for the new Nightmare where she could play Nancy again. But now, not only is she playing Nancy, she's playing herself as Heather and showing that she's a final girl in real life.
Most definitely.
So, I mean, and then on top of it, couples started surviving, showing that love conquers all.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's so weird. It's such a gray area. And then let's tie it back into the fact that you're a Fangsmith. Underworld.
Yes. Oh my God.
The most iconic female vampire of all time. And she is literally tramping through this franchise and fucking killing it every step of the way. How did you feel about that?
I loved her. I absolutely loved her. The only thing I didn't like about Underworld is they had this great idea with Michael, the hybrid, and then it was just like, and by the time the third one came out, it was like, okay, well, he's dead. She has a daughter, and now we have a steroid Hulk werewolf. And I'm like, all right.
He was like the Incredible Hulk for werewolves.
I met him at a Wizard World. Nice. Very nice guy, and I loved his line. He goes, "I heal instantly." And she's like, "I'm counting." Like she puts a grenade inside.
I mean, unfortunately, the actor that played Michael, and shame on you, wherever you are, turned it down. He did not want to continue that franchise. And I think if he would have, we probably would have had better sequels. Except for, I think it was called Bloodline.
I enjoyed that one, though.
I did too. It's like when whoever put that part of the story together, we had the first dude that was a vampire that was going to topple, the last of the hierarchy. And in a way, Celine got interested in him. So that's how we bridged the gap from, dead.
Yeah.
But I saw a good story though.
But I saw a movie before that. It's a B film, but it was very, very similar. Marcus, it was very similar to Underworld, called Razorblade, either Razorblade Smile or Razorblade Romance.
Ooh!
But it was about a girl in a vinyl outfit with guns going around killing other vampires.
Nice.
I mean, I saw that movie like 25 years ago, but
I don't know. I kind of felt that franchise it brought a different romance together in a way. It wasn't your typical, vampire, Dracula type. I'm going to woo you. No, it was the mixing of the species. But yeah, I agree. At the end of that franchise, it was really better. It was better all the way around. So, Mortimer says, I liked Marcus and William, a pure white werewolf. And the unfortunate part of that is the fact that they kind of punked out the werewolf in that case. Do you get a lot of requests to do werewolf fangs?
Yes. At least 3 to 4 people are inquiring or purchasing per convention. They're like, oh, you do vampire teeth, you do werewolf teeth. I'm like, yeah, look through my menus, and I have to point them out. And, it's, I like it. I mean, like, I had a guy come to me and I made the TV show Teen Wolf's fangs. And wow, that is a mouth of fucked up. Oh my God, it was beautiful.
Wow.
And it was one of those things, like, when I finished making it, I'm like, I'm impressed with my work.
I bet. Unholy shit. So anybody out there, I mean, there's multiple streaming services that are showing the Teen Wolf series out there, and you have made them.
Not for the show. A customer just ordered them.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I misunderstood.
Yeah, no. No, I replicated the work. I'm like, God.
So
yeah, trust me, if I was making fangs for a show like that, I really don't think I'd have any financial trouble.
Yeah, probably. So let me redirect. If you want them replicated, he can do it.
And the thing is, some people, if you don't see it on my menus or on my website or on my social media, does not mean I can't make them. Over 17 years ago, before the dawn of camera phones, over 20 years ago, I did a pair of viper fangs, top and bottom, for this girl, and I was so impressed with what I created, and she never sent me pictures.
Shit.
So I'm hoping someone orders snake-like serpentine fangs again, so I can make a top and bottom and add the snake style to my repertoire.
Hell yeah. Absolutely. So we've reached the part of the show where we want to tell everybody out there in the Black Flame universe, where can they find you? Where can they order some fangs from you?
So how I handle mail order is you can find me Horror Show Jack Fangsmith on Facebook, Horror Show Jack on Instagram, Horror Show Jack Fangsmith 5 on TikTok, because my old account got banned.
Gotta love it.
My website is horrorfangs.com. Don't bother with it right now. My prices, unfortunately, aren't updated in 2 years. My work hasn't been updated. My schedule hasn't been updated because I don't know how to update websites, but I've just recently started talking to someone who is going to help me with that. So very soon, I have a show coming up in Ohio called I Heart Gore Fest, which is being run by a horror-themed modeling troupe called the Gorgeous Girls. They are wonderful, all horror, all gore-based, and sexy. You'd love it. And then the weekend after that, I will be in Indy for Days of the Dead. Then I have the month of July off. So, I mean, if anyone knows about any shows going on somewhere that I can still get into in July, because this move that I had to do in April really fucked up my whole work schedule.
Sure.
But after that, I will be at Monster Mania in Cherry Hill, then Dragon Con in Atlanta, Georgia, Horror Hound in September, which they just announced about a month and a half ago. Bruce Dickinson is a guest at Horror Hound.
What?
Yeah, I'm leaving my booth. I have to meet him. I'm going to give him an Eddie Bear.
Can
right?
somebody recommend me as a guest so I can be at that particular that particular con?
Okay, hold on.
Balls.
I can't recommend you as a guest and guarantee that they would take you, but I am only going to have a crew of 3 or 4, but I have 2 extra passes. If you want to come,
I'm in.
You're in. Here's the one condition: you can crash with us. I get a hotel. Bring an air mattress. You can stay on the floor. You can stay on that and stay with us. I will ask.
Floor.
I will ask you. I ask one favor of you.
Yes, sir.
You have to wait online, and when you're like 10 people away, you text me. I come meet you, and then you can meet him first, and then I'll meet him right after you. But I have to meet him.
Yes, sir.
This is I have a friend that wants to do the same thing, but I don't know if he's going to come. So you have my number. So you let me know. We'll plan it, and I'll tell you when the dates and when I'm booked. And then at the end of September, I will be at Haunted Screens in Virginia, Wilmington, Virginia, I think. And I actually Saturday night I have a comedy show.
Which I
so
would
that's
be, somebody in the audience for that, for sure.
Oh God, I actually can talk to my friend. That I might be able to either get you as a guest, or he would probably just give me another booth, and I can put you next to me, and you can bring your crew.
I'm in.
It's a fun show, so I will talk to him.
Absolutely, man. Oh my goodness, Bruce Dickinson.
Right? And D. Schneider.
Amazeballs.
I've met D several times. D actually knows who I am, and I mean, like, Twisted Sister is one of the bands I grew up on, and it is so fucking surreal when these celebrities know who I am. It's like I'll go to meet people at shows that I've never met before, and they're like, "Oh, you're the Teeth guy," and I'm like,
"Yeah."
How do you know that?
Strangeland. Hello.
Oh, such a good movie.
Oh, I just want to thank him one time for making such an amazing horror.
You will have. So you come to Horror Hound with me, bro. You will have 3 days to do that.
Hello. We will.
And
for that.
If you help out at the booth, I'll make you a pair of fangs just for helping us.
Dude, I will sweep the floor. I will take garbage bags. We'll go ahead and do that shit.
Oh no, screw that. Just hang out at the booth and talk to customers and sell the bears. I have a funny feeling you'd be a real good bear salesperson.
I've done it.
There we go.
I can guarantee I can get that done for you.
Awesome.
Fuck. So, all right. So we've covered where everybody can find you. They can find you at Horror Show Jack on Facebook, Instagram, as well as TikTok. Boop, boop. Most Def. By the way, just a quick shout out to Kevin Jenserowski for the latest T-shirt that he decided to put me on for Creep Footage. Sorry, part 4 for my caretaker character. So Thank you so much. I appreciate that. What is your lasting message for everyone that has shown up tonight and all your fans? What do you want to leave them with?
I'm gonna stop you with one thing. I don't have fans. I have con family, horror show family, and friends. I mean, it's weird. It's weird because I've had people come up and be like, "Oh, I'm such a big fan of you," and I'm like, ugh. Like, you want to give me the douche chills? Say that to me. I don't know why, and maybe it's just because I stay humble. I don't think I'm anything special. I'm no better than anybody else. But I mean, like, all the people who have bought my product, kept my name in good graces, and helped me, kept my business afloat, especially through the pandemic, and allow me to do this instead of work for some corporate asshole, and just keep coming to the booth. I'll keep doing my best to make you happy, sell you a bear, make the fangs that you want. And if you're looking for an MC or a horror themed comedy act, I'm your guy. And I'm also available to do movies. I know how to act. I know I have a stereotypical look, but I can also clean up, cover the tattoos, and just be the old man in a rocking chair. I honestly want to. My dream role now, aside from just being the slasher, because I'd always wanted to be the killer, but I would like to be the guy that sacrifices himself so everyone can get away and just like clocks the killer once, twice, and then cocks back for the third time, and then just gets my guts slit open. I mean, I want to be that hero that sacrifices himself or makes it to the end, whatever. It's just been a dream of mine.
I may or may not be able to make that happen. For sure.
I would love you forever. I mean, I'm already going to love you forever because this has been an amazing experience and fun. I haven't had this much fun on a podcast in years.
And that's what the underground is all about. The best in underground art and entertainment. And I definitely feel that we can definitely plug you in. I know for a fact, every convention I go to, I'm going to sing your praises. I'm going to say, if you want to get fanged up, there is only one guy in the business to do it. Horror Show Jack. Because I've seen the product, I've seen the setup, and I know for a fact he is 100% legit. So any directors that I work with, if you're doing vampire, werewolf, you name it, you need fangs of any kind, Horror Show Jack is your guy. And I'll go to great lengths to make sure that happens. So thank you.
I appreciate it, Ripper. Thank you
for joining us tonight. It has been an amazing time hanging out with you. Let them know where you're going to be next.
Next is I leave next, obviously not this weekend. Next Thursday, I leave for iHeart Gore Fest in Ohio. And then the weekend after that will be Days of the Dead. And actually, before I go, I want to plug a friend of mine. Have you ever heard of Reculus Urungus?
Actually, yes.
He is the illegitimate son of Odorous. If you are interested in having him on your show, text me. I can put you in contact with him.
Let's make that happen.
Oh, you got it.
I'm in.
I am not responsible for what happens. He is a loose cannon. He is a fucking loose cannon, so you know.
I have been a Guar fan since I was like in short pants, man. So, yeah, let's...
Got my Death Piggy. Got my Guar skull from Violence Has Arrived. I've got my Balzac's head with lyrics from Madness at the Core of Time. I discovered them thanks to a friend of mine named Noah and Live from Antarctica. I actually got to know Dave. He was a nice guy.
He must come to the show.
I'll make it happen. I'll talk to him. All right, brother. All right, man.
Oh,
You
my
have a good night, and I will talk to you soon, all right?
Oh, absolutely. And what is your lasting message for everybody out there in the Black Flame universe?
Stay golden. Because I literally watch the Golden Girls while I make the bears.
I love it. He's watching the Golden Girls. And humble as fuck, as always, because the best in underground entertainment and art is in the underground, not the mainstream. Because
mainstream breaks.
Exactly. You want the best, you come see Horror Show Jack. And always stay heavy.
Thank you for joining us on Reapers Underground. Stay tuned for more from Black Flame Entertainment.